Welcome. I'm going to try something different today. We're going to do some route planning, and I'm going to compare pretty much all the route planning online web software what I would use. I'm going to use Komoot, plot a route. We're going to go somewhere in the Peak District next week. I'm looking for a route. I want to see if there's any difference between all of these, because sometimes you will get some variations. Let's see which is the easiest to use. So join me and we'll find out what's what with them basically. We're going to be using Komoot, Strava, RWGPS, and also I'm going to be using the online Hammerhead route planner as well. At the end of it, we'll see which one is the best looking and some of the features with these browsers as well. Anyway, let's get cracking. We'll go straight into Komoot and we are there. Right, so we're going to be starting just north of Lincoln. This is where I'm going to be starting from. And we're going to be going, I don't know, Mamtor. Let's go Mamtor. So straight off the bat, search for places or address. Let's just do Mam. There we go, Mamtor High Peak. That's exactly where it is. Let's just take a look. Right, that one is pretty much, that's down the bottom, isn't it? That's next to the railway station. I'm not sure I want to be exactly there. I want to be nice. I want to be over here really. Right, so straight away I've typed in Mamtor and it's actually just given me to the south of it, which is pretty flat. I'm going to wager Little Mamtor. Fantastic. There's the blue. There's Buxton Road. That will be the car park. We're going to get to the car park. We do like that, so I'm going to right click and set destination. Okay, right, that gives me 65 miles, about 4,000 climbing and not much dropping. About 6 hours on an average, which is about right to be fair, because over long distance obviously you will drop your speed. I'm not going to really be pushing my luck anyway, so I think that's probably a fair assessment. So 6 hours there, that's not bad actually. Let's have a look at the route it's picked me. So it's going to take me through Walton, onto the 15, past Scampton, down past the viewpoint. Interestingly, it's going to make me turn left at Bransby Horses. That's a funky looking route. Why is it? Because it wants me to cut down to Torksey. So I'm going to be going to Torksey Lock and then cutting across Torksey Viaduct. That's an interesting route. I've got a video on Torksey Viaduct already, and the other side of it, it's not gravel, it's grassland, but it isn't tarmac, I can tell you that. And then it wants me to cut down there. Now, I'm sure, last time round, yeah, I did. I went north on that Torksey Viaduct video. I cut all the way across here. That was quite a bit of a walk, because I walked this. I wasn't too sure if it was private land or not. Cut over this, and then obviously we went that way. But it wants me to go south, and then picks up to the Ferry Road. Past Rampton. And then we're going to go south of Retford. That's an interesting route. I wonder why it's picked that one. All right, well, we'll stick with that one for this one and compare it. So Ramby, obviously we're going through Worksop. And then we're going to be scooting south. So it looks like it's going to be quite busy because we've got, yeah, we are cutting a lot of towns on this. South of Sheffield, so this is going to be quite, I'm guessing that's there, yeah. So it gets really hilly, yeah, as it does. Just there. And then we're on, which way is it going to take me into there? So normally I will come in on this top route and go to, that's obviously Ladybower there. I would normally park at this car park just here. Well, just there actually. And then start from there. So normally I would drive through Sheffield and then obviously park up at Ladybower there, and then get on the bike and do a loop. Lovely, lovely loop as well, yeah. Okay, right, that's interesting. I mean, that's one way, I suppose. Right, we are going to round trip it. So that will allegedly take me nearly 12 hours. 130 miles, 7,000 up, 7,000 down, of course. Makes sense. Right, okay, so that's Komoot. Now, we can change around with this as well. We'll start with what we're doing. We're going to be doing road cycling. We can change it to mountain biking. That will change the route. That will 20 hours, bloody Nora. Bike touring. Yeah. Why is it saying that? Just out of interest, what's the hiking route? Yeah, that's an interesting way. Let's go gravel riding. Right there and back. That might be a good ride one day, actually. Gravel riding all the way to Mantua and back. For this, we will stick to a road cycling. So there we are. 12 hours there and back, 130 miles. What else can we do? Now, I've just put average, which is just pretty much everyone, unless you're extremely good shape. Good shape is under 10 hours. Yeah, that is pretty good going, actually. 7,000 feet, that would be the kicker. Not that anyone is, but we could do a round trip. I can add some stop-offs and waypoints as well with these ones, but I think for the most part that's pretty good. So that there will be the route what Komoot wants me to do. There's a little bit of bumpy bumps, but it's the peak, so what do you expect? Right, let's do that same route now in Strava and see what that compares to. So into Strava, we are there. We'll do a search for Mantua as well. Again, doesn't really bring. Yeah, there we go. Mantua car park. That's exactly where I want to be. And that is it. So, yep, we're going to add to route. Okay. So that's telling me 72, just 73 miles, 4,000 up, 3,000 down. Now, I think Strava actually goes on my previous rides on the estimate time I'm going to be there. So that says I'm going to do it in 5 hours and 16 minutes, which is interesting. Now, can we? I don't think we can. We have to add the waypoint. So we can't do a round trip on this without adding another waypoint back home. So if I scoot back all the way, would help if I zoomed out, wouldn't it? And what I'll do is I'll just click that as the finish line. That will then update to 146 miles, 7,641 feet up, and the same back down. That's taken me 10 hours, 32 minutes estimate from a Strava. And that's on my previous rides logged with Strava as well, which is probably about right. Okay, right, so that one's given me some, that's given me a much more interesting route, look. Wow, right, so we'll have a look at elevation profile, pretty similar to the Komoot one. Right, so this time round, yeah, so instead of going, so it's going north, look, so it's going north straight away rather than south. It's heading to the north via Scampton through Brattleby. Then it's picking up that super fast road, the Ingham Road. That is an extremely fast ride. If the wind's blowing in the right direction, you can knock 35 miles an hour on there very easily if the wind's behind you. If it's a side wind, you can probably do 25 to 30. If it's a headwind, then you're going to be struggling anyway. But yeah, it's a lovely, lovely, lovely little road, that one. As long as no cars are coming in the other way, of course. That's when it gets. So it's taken me up towards Gainsborough, obviously. Yeah, so it's taken me to Gainsborough and then crossing the bridge at Gainsborough, of course. Been there too many times, I'm sure. That's interesting. So it wants me to go across the bridge, but it then wants me to go alongside the Trent. That's an interesting route. Instead of taking the Flood Road, which is quite a fast, busy road, been on that one plenty of times, I'll be tempted to ignore that route and go the faster route, then catch the roundabout. Yeah, so it is taking me around there. So we're up through Beckenham. Interesting route. Into Blythe. Right, so we must be... Yeah, it's going to hit us. So it's coming in from the north end of Sheffield, all the way through Sheffield. Interesting. And then, which way does it want to take me? So that one's very similar. Right, it still wants me to go south though. So where does that, so it gets hilly. Yeah, it's the same road I think. A couple of nice little climbs. I don't think I've been on that road actually, so that would be interesting. And then all the way back. So the return route, because Strava wants me to do something completely different, wants me to catch all the way towards, yeah, so it is towards Chesterfield. And then of course I've been on this road, quite fast roads actually, or yeah, Bolsover, Callow, where's Callow? Yep, there's Callow, Bolsover, and then yeah, going into old schoolhouse. I've been there, Thoresby, isn't it? Yeah, Thoresby, Clumber Park. So that will be interesting, neat. That's interesting. And then I'm going to wager it's going to probably pick me up. Was it the 57? I think it is. West Markham, Tuxford. Yep, there's Tuxford. Ah, right, okay. So we are now going to be heading towards, yeah, catching up to Fleborough Viaduct. Yep, Fleborough Viaduct, cross back over the Trent. This is all cycleway anyway. And then pretty much Old Hagwood, which I've got a video on way back. And then through Skellingthorpe, into the Pie Wipe, into Lincoln. Ooh, I'll just reverse that. And then back pretty much, I'll be interested to see which way it wants me to go through Lincoln. That wants me to go to Michaelgate. No. Are they nutters? This will be Michaelgate. Yeah, Michaelgate is 13.6% gradient. No, you go up Yarbough Hill. Or you go up Lindermill and then cut through. Alright, I'm a bit dubious about that one as well, and then obviously it's straight back home. Bizarrely, it wants me to catch through net. Okay, fair enough. Sometimes you look at the routes and you think, why is it routing me this way? Okay, right, so that's Strava, 146 miles, 10.5 hours. Well, now we're going to go with Ride with GPS. Now, I haven't used this site at all. Right, so we're going to be going from there. Let's see if we can do Mantor. Now, these are just public routes, so I can't actually put a... Oh no, I'm in the wrong box. Mantor. Alright, it doesn't auto-find. So, where are you taking me? There's Castleton. It could be. Not too sure we're on the RWGPS map. Now, I want the car park. No. So Mantor itself, it's taken me directly to the summit by the looks of it of Mantor. So I'll remove that marker. I'm going to have to manually add it to the car park. So I'm going to click it. Okay, right, so we are pretty similar, 75.9 miles, 4,500 feet, 3.2 thousand down, and it does give me a cue sheet as well, which is interesting. I miss cue sheets. I used to love cue sheets. Before the GPS and turn by turn, you used to have to just memorize the rough route and then have some sort of key markers. I used to have a little sticker on the crossbar, or on the top tube there, just slap it down with, you know, places I need to hit. So if I'm out and about and I'm, you know, if I'm not knowing where I'm going, I'll head to a place, you know, a town name, and it'll say town name, town name, town name. And that way I can sort of get to where I'm going. Obviously it's all changed now. We're turn by turn on GPS, of course. Okay, right, so that's one route. Let's just have a look and see which way that's taken me. First thing, I want to get rid of this. Let's go with terrain. That might be a little bit better. Right, so interestingly, they all seem to use the same stretch out of Sheffield, and it looks like we're pretty similar. And again, very similar. It wants me to hit Worksop, Tux. Ah, right. This one's slightly different. It wants, instead of going through Torksey Lock, this one's now going to go through, obviously, Flebra Viaduct and on the cycle path. And again, it's sort of reverse of what that Strava one was. That's very interesting. That's not a bad route, to be fair, because that one is fairly straightforward. So from here to, say, Clumber Park, you would do that exact route through Tuxford. And obviously, this is all cycleway pretty much. A lot of it isn't, but majority of it is. And it is a nice, pleasant route as well. That one's pretty good. Do you know what? I'm quite impressed with that. It's picked that one out of the bag straight away. Right, let's do a out and back. That gives me 151.2 miles. Bit dubious on this. 8,109 feet up. And almost about the same back down as well. And I do believe a variation coming back. Yeah, so it's a little bit more interesting. Nothing worse than going out on the route and then coming back on the exact same route. Sometimes it could be useful mentally, but on long rides, I don't know, it depends on how you ride with that. I mean, sometimes I'm on a really, really long ride. If I'm on a London run, for instance, I will use sort of autopilot. I know roughly where I'm going to be hitting and roughly what to expect. It's when you get to a town, cities are the worst, and you haven't got a clue which way's which. A bit of familiarity does help, and it does sort of boost the confidence, especially if you're tired and you've been in the saddle a good 10 hours plus. It can be a bit of a kicker, so there's some merits and some negatives. It is boring, but it is what it is. I'm quite impressed with that. I'm surprised. I would have thought RWGPS was rubbish, but I'm actually quite impressed. We can do all sorts on this. We can split the route. We can put cues, points of interest in. It's pretty spot on with the route. Do you know what? I might be tempted with that one. Right, last one is Hammerhead. So this is the Hammerhead Karoo website. They've got this is exactly the same route planning, which is on device as well. I think it is the same. It doesn't look as pretty, of course. It's the same sort of maps, but obviously on the mobile, on a little tiny screen. So, MAM Tour. Again, no tool. Right, there we go. So we are going to be MAM Tour car park. That's exactly where we want to be. And we'll say yay to that. Right. That is giving me, interestingly, 67.3 miles, 4.2 thousand feet up. Pretty similar. And we will do a return journey as well. That gives me a grand total of 133.7 miles, 7.3 thousand feet. Let's have a look. Again, it doubles round. That one takes me, yeah, okay. Both then pick up towards Castleton, through Hope. Again, we're going south. It looks fairly straightforward. Right, so again, this one's going through Worksop, Retford, and then obviously on this one's going to go across the Trent at Dunholm. So this one's taken to 57. Interesting. This is probably the reason why when I rode home, we rented a holiday cottage in the peaks at where Flash. must be about 2.5, 3 years ago now. And I cycled back from there, and it pretty much picked me on the worst roads possible. And it was a really warm day as well. Yeah, so this one's going through Saxby. You see, this is, I know this route already. I know exactly, yeah, it is. It's going exactly the way I think it would do. By the time I do come back this way, I will probably be in darkness. So that'll be about 110 miles. So 110 miles is Retford. Yeah, so I'll be hitting Retford probably about tea time, which is going to be dark. So I'm going to be riding in the dark from Retford back to home. And on that road, it's not advisable. So this is where the cycle network will probably come in quite a lot. If you're riding at night, you don't want to be riding on a big, busy A road, especially with the big trucks and the city drivers rolling by you, so it can be a bit of a burden. So yeah, this is where the cycle network does come in handy, because you feel a little bit more safer riding. It's slower, but safer, and always pick safety overall. I'm quite impressed with that one as well, actually. Right, I think let's compare all the routes. So I'll go zoom out there. Right, that's the Hammerhead route. Whoop, too far. That's the RWGPS, so let's just compare them two. That one there, interesting. So that one does go a lot south on there. Strava's all over the shop, isn't it? Strava's a bit more varied route, 145 miles. Komoot is just there and back, but that one also might be pretty good as well. So yeah, that's an interesting route though, what Komoot's picked up. Okay, right, so what we got here? So Komoot is there and back at 130 miles. 130 miles there and back. 7,000 feet up, under 10 hours ride time. Strava is 145, so 16 miles more, about 500 feet more climbing, 10.5 hours, but it's a bit varied. Ride with GPS is 151 miles, 8,000 feet up and down, pretty much there and back with a bit of variety. But it is a safer route though. So I think a lot of that will be, yeah, 20% of it is unpaved. So that'll be 31 miles, pretty much, I'm guessing that'll be cycle network. So 90 miles on the road. And then with good old Hammerhead Karoo, or the Hammerhead dashboard, that one is 133 miles, 7,306 feet. Up and down pretty much. Interesting. Doesn't give me an ETA on that one though. But I can do on this one, I can change this, much like this one. This one looks prettier. So pavement, gravel and trail. It may look prettier. Let's just have a look at gravel on the Hammerhead. Yeah, there's not much difference, is there? 148 miles though, so it takes me a lot south. So this picks up the cycle network. That long straight just there. Yeah, that's the cycle network. That'll be Route 1. No, it isn't Route 1 actually. Route 1. Where does it go? Yeah, Route 1 it goes down. That's Route 1 there. Then it turns right. That's Route 1, and then Route 1 goes off that way, I think. No, sorry, Scotland. Then up to Langworth, then up Snelland and all that. Interesting. Right, well there you go. I'm actually quite surprised with Ride with GPS. I was expecting it to be pretty pants, but I'm looking likely that I might be doing that route. Okay, right. So obviously, what do you reckon of that? Have you got any preferences to your own route planning? Have you got any other websites as well? I've only picked on the 4 what I would ever use. A lot of these routes I would also combine, if it's like this one, if there's places I've never been before and I want to have a quick sneaky peek at the road, I would use Google Street View to have a look at the how bad the road is and how busy it is. But yeah, I'm pretty chuffed with that. RWGPS looks like it's a winner. Right, I'm going to call this now because I've been waffling on for a good 25 minutes. Thank you very much for viewing. If you like what you see, please drop me a like, comment, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.